Hi guys, it's Ryan here from the Private Banking Forum. Just thought I'd do a update video on some analysis and what I did today. And just start off with the euro here. And been looking at this market the last couple of weeks now, and it's a bit of a funny market, but definitely some opportunities here. And just going to explain what I was looking at today. So obviously looking from a higher time frame approach, we'll start off with the daily, and what you can see here is we've just been in a pretty sideways sort of balancing bracket, and from a bigger picture perspective, I mean, if you look at the monthly, this is the monthly, you can just see this clear trading range that we've been in, and same sort of picture with the weekly as well. I mean, if we look at the weekly, you can just see again just a trading range balancing area that we've been in, and you can really see this clearly from the higher time frames. I mean, from a yearly perspective and a quarterly perspective, you can see just a real sort of consolidation, middle of the range sort of bracket that's formed here that we've been in for some time now. So, and we sort of had a gap up here as we found support at the lows of the bracket, and just seen this sort of trend up, and we found some support at the highs, and we've rotated down to a sort of 50% retracement Fibonacci area on the, just something to keep an eye on. I mean, did test it to the tick, and heading up towards the -23, so just something to keep observant of. And we formed this sort of intermediate macro sort of bracket, and on the Fed day we just sort of exploded out, and since then we've just sort of one time frame down slowly, sort of balancing. So just seeing if we're going to find new buyers here, and we're going to come back down into the previous bracket. So from a daily perspective, this market is out of balance, and we have broken out to the upside, but obviously it was done on full snooze pretty much, and I think this market's just hanging out waiting for some new information pretty much. I mean, we've got high up here to test, I suppose, and with excess, and we have got excess at the highs at the moment. But one thing to note is we don't have we didn't make the high in RTH outcry hours. The high was made in Globex hours at 35.73, and the RTH pit session high was 35.65. So just something to be observant of. So looking from a few other time frames, I mean, one being sort of my composite chart with some meters VWAPs. Sort of been tracking this VWAP from the lows that we made at the lows of the bracket, and you can clearly see this sort of trend. Sorry, it's not at the lows of the bracket. It is pretty much sort of around the 50% sort of area. So, but anyway, this doesn't matter. This is the meters VWAP that I'm tracking at the minute. As you can see, we were holding this as support, rejecting value, rotating out. And obviously, since the Fed day, we've broken out, and this market's pretty much just been playing catch up. I mean, value's just been catching up with the market. So you can clearly see today that we tested this value area, and we found buyers from here. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here, because we've got a good developing meters VWAP from the highest that the market has been respecting. So I mean, I'm thinking either here we're going to just disregard this meters VWAP, and we're going to see a rotation higher away from value again, or we're just going to accept value. We're going to come back in and fill some volume down here, and maybe see a mean reversion back down to where we was trading previously. So I mean, just a couple things to keep an eye on there. In regards to some composites that I'm tracking, I mean, this was the breakout from the Fed day. Obviously, this is just a crazy move that we see up, and since then we've just been basically balancing with the one time framing down. I mean, I'm going to split this bracket out, and I'll show you what I was looking at last night. I mean, you got to remember that this profile didn't exist, so this is pretty much what I saw. And you know, the TPOs do look, he did have excess down here, and excess at the highs as well. It's just crazy amount of volume here, and there's just no volume down here, and there's just a clear point of control here. So obviously this was a very close area that I was keeping an eye on. So if you look at this as a 3526 as an area, then this is what I was looking at going into the open today. Obviously we had the point of control from Friday's market at 35.28. So if we opened above this area, I was looking to be a buyer down into support, and obviously if we opened below it, and I was looking to sell it down. And this is exactly what I did today. We opened below yesterday Friday's value, and we see a rotation to the value area, into the value area, and the point of control, and right into this 35.28 area, and it also lined up with the developing meters VWAP value area low, and we also had sort of a developing downtrend on the overnight session. I mean, you can see that we had clear sort of lower rotations and value being built lower on the overnight session. So just a clear sort of heads up into today's open, and I mean, you can just see it on the ETH VWAP that we've just seen downwards rotations and a developing value to the downside and a bearish sort of meter VWAP, and this becomes sort of line in the sand for the day for me. So what we saw on the open was a rotation to a support area that I had plotted, and into the overnight VWAP. So obviously I got short above VWAP, and obviously I didn't want to see the market accept higher above the VWAP, and I wanted to see a rotation down, which is exactly what I saw. So I managed to get scaled out, and we see a pullback into value and added, and it's got scaled out again, and we came back again, and I added again here, and I ended up getting sort of caught here into the sort of close, trying to sort of get scaled out as another rotation down, and we just never see it. We just came back in, and I ended up sort of just taking my core position off into the close, just at VWAP pretty much. So, but other than that, I've got some great opportunities, some great scales on this position. So I mean, regards going into tomorrow and the rest of the week, I mean, we are back in value now, and it just sort of depends how we open tomorrow in regards to whether we're going to accept this sort of buyer that stepped in, and or if we open up. It just depends, obviously, where we open tomorrow. It's hard to say what we're going to do, but I mean, the overall tone of this market is just pretty balanced at the minute. It's just sort of seems to be some sort of longer term liquidation going on of orders. So interesting to see what happens here going into the week. I mean, regards value, the quarterly value, I mean, we're coming into the end of Q3 and going into Q4, so I mean, we're well out of balance, well out of value. We've developed a higher value from last quarter, so just be interesting to hear if we can find more buyers and continue to auction, or if we come back into the previous sort of trading range that we were in before the FMC announcement. I'm just going to have a quick look at Crude, because there was a great trade on Crude this morning. I'm not going to go into too much detail here, but I mean, this is a daily chart that I've been sort of looking at, and sort of previous sort of balance sort of area up here, bracket area, and then the major bracket area. We came down today and tested the lows of this longer term bracket area that I've been tracking, and there's just a great sort of trade off the open. I mean, this market has clearly changed tone. I mean, it's clearly we're clearly in a sort of a bearish auction here, back into value and testing the other side of the bracket, and the Midas VWAP that I'm tracking sort of tells it all. I mean, we've sort of seen this spike higher held at the highs now from the news, from all the stuff that's going on with Syria, and you can clearly see now that we're just sort of seeing these downwards rotations, and this Midas VWAP is really starting to hold, and we're we're starting to sell away from value now. So I mean, you can see this sort of clear upper distribution that we're in, and we're sort of coming down to the lows of this distribution now. So also, again, it'd be interesting to see what happens here with the Crude. But I mean, regards to the setup today, I mean, we opened gap down, and what we wanted to see is pretty much a test, a go no go sort of trade, a test of the previous day's range, and an instant rejection, and which is exactly what we see with this sell off to the downside, and a test of this lower bracket. So I mean, with these sort of scenarios, when we open gap down like this and we've got this K selling spike, I mean, we just want to see this spike rejected. So the idea is you get short on the trade location reference, and with a stop inside the previous day, and you just target pretty much another reference point, which would have been down here. So I mean, you could have bought this, but I mean, the best, obviously you can see the trade of the day was to short this off of the open. So I mean, just pretty clear and simple. And I mean, if you look at the footprint chart, you can see we just clearly sort of hold on. I mean, this was yesterday's lows where we spiked down, and you can just see that off the open that this opened here, and we just see a rotation up to the previous day's range lows, and just an instant sort of just aggressive move to the downside, where the sellers were waiting to just to sell this down to the bracket lows. So just real sort of simple sort of setup principles on this trade. I mean, without going into too much detail of the higher time frame stuff, it just made sense to be shorting this. I mean, from the sort of the weekly and the monthly sort of brackets, you can see that we're definitely sort of found support up here, and we're reverting back to the sort of mean price from this previous sort of anchor swing low. And again on the monthly, we just in this longer term bracket still, and we just couldn't find buyers above into the 110 area above this bracket. So I mean, who knows, maybe we're going to come back down to 90 again and test the other side of the bracket going into the end of the year. Who knows, just have to monitor this as we continue to develop here. Anyway, if you have any questions, just ask me on the forum, and I hope you all had a great day. Cheers, bye.